All right, I think we are live, everybody. Happy Friday. It's 11 o'clock here in Eastern Standard Time where I'm coming at you from. And I'm super excited for this. So, what I'm going to share with you today is something that I discovered out of necessity about a week or so ago because when I had signed up for Kartra, I knew I wanted to give away an ebook for a freebie to build my list and to get people on to eventually lead them into my funnel. The challenge was I suck at design. Like, I'll just be honest with you. I am not a designer. I don't care for it. I don't want to get better at it. But I knew that I needed to get that skill because when you look through a lot of the Kartra designs, you see really good looking mock-ups. But of course, if you just put a flat image on top of it, it looks terrible. So what I want to share with you today is a quick little how-to. And what we're going to do is we're going to design an ebook cover that you can kind of be proud of, right? That you can put this onto an opt-in form, put this onto a landing page. Let me show my screen. There we go. Help you design a ebook mockup kind of like this. We'll play around with some different designs here. And I'm going to show you how to do this without having to pay for a designer, without having to pay for a subscription service to do these renderings, and without having to pay for a whole lot of time going into it. We'll be able to do this in probably 10 minutes completely free. And I'm excited for this because, like I said, as somebody who's not design-centric, this has always been a sticking point for me. But I think that this is a useful skill set for anybody to have, especially if you want to get into building a funnel, building a list, and obviously doing everything that goes along with that. Okay, so let's waste no time. There's going to be two tools we're going to use for this today. One is called canva.com. And this is just an all-around good tool for design. The reason why I recommend this tool is because they actually have entire templates designed for ebooks or for book covers in general. So if you go into canva.com, you can sign up with your Facebook account or put an email address in, get it for free. And you can just search here, what would you like to design? If you start saying cover, you'll have the option to design a book cover. And you'll see it even gives you the pixel size that it recommends for designing book covers, which is pretty helpful. Luckily, we don't need that detail, but it's good to have it. So when we go in here, we are given a few free options and a few paid options. And that's okay, right? Like if you see something that's perfect, obviously, if this is going to be a money-making opportunity for you, it's worth the investment to go ahead and make a purchase. But we're going to go ahead and find some free themes. So what you can do is you can kind of see here, you've got romance books, thriller books, a bunch of different categories. And I think if I search here for business, there you go, suggested as a business book cover, it'll actually pull up a bunch of business-related designs. And you'll see here you've got a free one, a couple paid. I actually like this one, so it's kind of sad that it's paid. But you've got a bunch of different options here for ebooks. And if you guys can see, where was I at? What does this look like? I'll be honest with you. I did minimal adjustment to it, but I'm still proud of it. Like I took out some of this text and I put in my own little images and things like that made it relevant for what I was doing. But let's make a different one here today. Let's go ahead and I like this. So all you have to do is drag the cover you like onto the canvas and you are almost done. It's just that easy to design one. So let's make this a little more real here. It's not New York Times bestseller, so we'll say Income Mesh presents ... how to design an amazing ebook. And we'll say with our subtitle, with zero design skills, money to invest, or patience. And I'll go ahead and say that I made this, John Whitford. Okay, and now this, I obviously did something to mess up the color here, so let's just go into color, and let's just make this white. Boom. So now we have Income Mesh presents how to design an amazing ebook with zero design skills, money to invest, or patience. John Whitford. One thing I'm not a big fan of is this background. So let's go into the background sections and let's just try a few out. So let me see. Not a big fan of that. Let's take that off. And you know what? We'll go ahead and keep it for now. Looks like I have a couple of different layers of this. Oh, wow. We're just going to go and hit the back button. I'll let you guys play around with the design. Like I said, I am not a designer and I don't want to become a designer. So this is good enough for me and especially good enough for this tutorial. So the next step is just download this guy as a PNG. What's nice about having a solid background is that you don't need to have the paid version to do a transparent background. If you want to do like a headshot or something where it has you, but then it's transparent back in the background so you can put it into your blog on a colored background and things like that, you do need the premium version for that. But for this, totally free, totally fine. No no watermarks or anything like that to mess you up. So we'll design that up, and while that's exporting, let's go ahead and show you the next tool here to make this thing happen. This is a godsend, finding this little guy. All right, that's good. So let's just check out how this looks. Okay, that's a quality looking ebook. I would probably change this design back here, but I don't want to waste too much time on the minutia. So now the next thing is DIYbookcovers.com/3D mockups, or if you go there, you'll find the mockup tool. And what's amazing about this, I don't know why they're not charging for this. They certainly could, but you've got a bunch of different options here to create renderings, and you can just upload your cover image into it. So if you wanted to do just the book, you could do something like this. Or if you wanted to do like what I did on the previous one, where you show maybe the book and the iPad to show that it's a digital copy, or even with the phone as well. Let's do, for fun, let's do this guy, the iPad and the book. That's a composite. We'll hit next. Then you can upload, or let's browse for the cover image. I'll just go to, this is the guy we just made. That's a big looking file, so it's going to come out in quality. And there we go. We're going to upload it. It'll give you the ability to just kind of make sure you uploaded the right file, which is kind of helpful. Let's let this go. And guys, on the live stream, can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Is this working well? I've had a couple issues live streaming recently. I want to make sure that the internet's working the way it should. Go ahead and leave in the comments there. Okay, so we've got the design is uploaded. Let's go ahead and hit next. And now that's all there is to do. The next step is to download your free mockup. If you scroll down here, you can see PNG. Definitely for graphics like this, download the PNG version. You'll get a better quality result. Okay, and now if we go to test mockup and check this out, pull this guy over here. Look at that. Not too bad. Not too shabby. How to design an amazing ebook. You can see here there's actually a little bit of a white border. I'm not entirely sure what that's for. It may be that the aspect ratio of this book cover is just slightly a little bit off. But you can always get around that. As you can see in the example I made here, there's no problem there. That image is looking just fine. I also made this mockup here where you can see fully dark working well. So I'm not entirely sure what happened on that one, but super simple. So now you've got your mockup here. The next step that I would recommend you do is, unfortunately, for whatever reason, when you export, it kind of gives you a weird cropping size. If you can see here, the image is pretty wide, but the books are extremely, narrow on the page there. So what you can do is just simply go into Windows or Mac, whatever program you use, and crop this down. And you want to make it not exactly on it, but give it not too much padding, because what we want to preserve is that shadow that's going to be behind there. So maybe like this would be a good way to do it. You can hit done, and you can even add filters on it. I think that's a terrible idea. And we'll save a copy of this, and we'll just call it test mockup-cropped. So now you've got your test mockup cropped, and what you could do at this point is build out an entire opt-in, build out a funnel, and put this image in as kind of your hero image of the opt-in. So let's do this right now. I'm using Thrive Leads. Let's go ahead and make a new opt-in form. So within Thrive Leads, make sure you guys can still see me. Okay. So within Thrive Leads, we can create, let's just make a new Thrive box. Call this test mockup. All right. And now let's edit this guy. And we're going to create a new form. Call it Ebook Mockup. And very, very quickly, we'll be able to create a nicely designed form using this image we just created. This should definitely increase your conversion rates with any offer you have. Okay, so this is going to be one of those where it's like a button and then there's a pop-up. So let's just look around for a design that kind of looks like what we want to use here. Okay, that's a book. Books are good. Let's just keep looking. Here we go. This is a nice one. What's nice about Thrive Leads is you don't need to be a designer as well. You can just pick something that looks about right on brand, change the colors to be your colors, and you're good to go. So now we have this default image. Let's change the image. And I'm going to just drag and drop this guy on top from my other screen. Drag him on. Okay, now you can see that this is 900. It's almost a megabyte. It's probably bigger than I'm going to need it to be. So what I'm going to do is go down to the attachment display settings, and I'm going to show probably the large. I could go large or medium, but we'll go large. And now you see this is, okay, so this is more square. So what you can do at this point is you can do a couple of things. Because I don't like how this looks, I'm going to actually change this from being a 2-paragraph. Where is this guy? So we've got a content box. Okay, he's actually in the content box, and this content box has columns. So we could do a lot of design work on this. I'm just going to drag this below this paragraph here. Oof. You know what, for the sake of the demonstration, we'll just make it as big as it can go like this. And because we've got definitely there would be some design work to make this fit in like we want. We can kind of drag that through. This paragraph here, they've done some layout work here, definitely. So, good enough. When you are using Thrive, if it's a button-based opt-in box, you'll see this plus button down here. They've got multiple states. So when you click this button, it'll go to state 1. And they'll probably have another ebook there. And so what you could do, if you wanted to use this template, what would probably make more sense would be to go into the DIY book cover and go back to step 2. Step 1, and just choose a single. Choose one that looks like it. So let's do that just because, you know, we've got a little bit of time here. I like this guy, this cover here. So let's go forward. It saves our design. Go forward, and let's make this PNG. And let's see if we can make this better without having to do any design work at all. Single book. Let's go back to our test mockup. Let's check the comments real quick. Okay, so we've got our single book. So now let's change this out by going to image options, change image, and drag this. Oh, you know what? I need to also crop this as well, because this will definitely be a rectangular image. Let's crop this down to be just bigger than the image itself so we can get that shadow. Save a copy. Single book cropped. Okay, so there we go. And let's upload that file. Select files. Quick access, single book cropped. Open this guy up. And let's keep that full size because now the image is much smaller. And look at that. Okay, so there you go. You get 2 options to go here. One is you could try to mess with the formatting itself, or because the 3D book designer gives you so many different options of mockups, just make a mockup that would fit the space that you have. Like, you can do a lot of things with Thrive Architect and Thrive Leads, but you could be a lot faster and more efficient with your time if you just pick the right one from the beginning. So if I look at the original state before they click the button, that doesn't look nearly as good as we could get it if we did this. Boom. So now we've got almost perfectly sized opt-in box, nicely designed ebook, this would have great conversions. And if you can see here also, so notice the reason why we did that cropping. So the image is able to go full size with the container that it's in, but you see we still have just enough padding to get that nice shadow there that really gives it that nice 3D effect. So let's go ahead and just preview this. So you can load it up, say, yes, I want this, and it'll give you your name and email. And then from here, this isn't exactly a Thrive Leads tutorial, but if you wanted to from here, you'd be able to go into where they're actually setting up their name and email and connect that to your email marketing service. And I currently use MailerLite on this account. And then you can do your thing, and boom, you've got yourself a fully functioning lead attracting tool that's made in just a couple minutes. So if there's any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'll hang out for just a minute. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I hope this is a helpful little tutorial. All right, guys, take care.